Htp family, this is Onitaset Kumat, host of the Pro-Black Perspective on KWAZ Radio. I am the author of the Book of Power and the Pro-Black Compendium, as well as Zubiri and the Ruins of Ma'ah. This is lesson 20 of the course on African philosophy. We're getting through it. This is like, I want to say the last 3 chapters, the last 3 lessons. So, might even be the last 2. I should have double checked. Actually, you know what? I'm double check. We're going to go to the beginning. This is it. Message to the people. Marcus Garvey. We're going to look at the table of contents. See how many more do we have. What? 22. Look at that. We're at 20. Living for something. I didn't know that could work. Okay. Did not know that could work. But all right. Lesson 20. Living for something. Let's do it. Life is an important function. It was given for the purpose of expression. The flower expresses itself through the beauty of its bloom. The vine expresses itself through its rambling search in setting its own peculiar nature. The tree expresses itself in the smiling green leaves, shaking branches, and sometimes hanging fruit. The lark expresses itself in its laughter and song. The river expresses itself in its gentle meandering onto the sea, and man expresses himself according to the idealistic visions of his nature. There is a scope for each life. Let yours find its scope and fully express itself. Man should have a purpose, and that purpose he should always keep in view. With the hope of achieving it in the fullest satisfaction to himself. Be not aimless, driftless, and floating with the tide that doesn't go your way. To find your purpose, you must search yourself, and with the knowledge of what is good and what is bad, select your course, steering towards the particular object of your dream or desire. Never enter upon life's journey without a program. Simpleton as you may be, you can have a program. No ship ever reaches port without a positive destination beforehand. Otherwise, it will drift on the mighty ocean to be overtaken by the storm or the ill wind that blows. The sensible captain goes to sea with a chart to map out his course so as to reach his harbor of safety. Your program is your chart through life. Everything you do, do it by method. Never succeed continuously or repeatedly. Nothing succeeds continuously or repeatedly by chance. This is brilliant. Okay? This is brilliant. I want you to understand, because this is the issue I have. Now, I have this Discord. I want you to join the Discord. Sometimes the conversation on the Discord shows to me that some of our people do not have a purpose. Do not have a purpose. They kind of just talk about anything sometimes. And I'm not saying, I love the Discord. But even like you go on social media, it's the same thing. You talk about anything. You don't have a program. You don't have a program. And this goes towards even the intellectuals of the African race. A lot of times you will hear somebody, oh, well, the white man is such a racist against me. What's your program? What's your program to get our people forward? This is the programmatic thinking that I am going to indulge you with. I'm going to engage you with in the Book of Power. Because this is what I've seen. Like, I look upon our people and say, whoa, this is the people with no program. This is the people with no chart, no map out of their course, no chart through their life. What we need is a program. The program outlined is Boko Waset Nakeru. Okay? The program outlined is Boko Waset Nakeru. Very simple. Very simple. But it's a program, nonetheless. You need to, if you don't have a program, you have no excuse anymore. If you have money in your pocket, put it online, get you a book, get a program. If you don't have a program, what are you doing? You're getting screwed up. You're going with the wind. I can show you videos of what's mass protests turning into dance-a-thons. Why are they becoming dances? Because the people did not have a purpose. People did not have a purpose. Hey, I want to protest that you did this. Oh, what do you want us to do? I don't know. You want the Macarena? like you gotta have a program. I'm at a protest. I say, look, what I want is Boko Aset Nakeru. That's it. And that's what I'm telling you. I'm sitting here, I'm like, hey, look, I'm going to read you this book. My program is this. Boko Aset Nakeru. Come on. Sorry. You may get success in a particular direction by accident, but it was chiefly because that accident was the correct method in achieving that particular thing, and you happen to have struck upon the right method by chance. But trying chances that way a second time may bring you failure, as it generally does. To follow the correct method will give you the same result all the time. Therefore, make your life a methodical one. Rise at a certain hour, work up to a certain hour, retire at a certain hour. Do everything on time so that your entire system becomes methodical. If you have something to do and it ought to be done, do it with proper method or a system to get the best results. Study it first, then go after doing it. If a thing is worthwhile doing, it is worthwhile doing well. How pitiful it is to see a man living without a program, not knowing how he is going to use his todays and tomorrows. If you follow him long enough, you will find him going down the ditch of failure because he has been traveling without a program. Observe the other man who has his program and see him go from one step to the next with success. If you have a program, you know what comes next. If you have none, you have to improvise one, and then it is too late to do it properly, and so you fail. If you want to be 5,000 miles away in December and it costs $500, to avoid being disappointed at the last moment, start in January to think about your trip and make arrangements for it so that when the time comes, you will be perfectly ready. Make this a practice in everything. Don't wait until the time arrives. Think ahead. Always try to look beyond the present by calling upon your past experiences when you are looking at the future. Analyze it, arrange it to suit your needs so that when things come upon you, you will be ready. Don't let things come upon you suddenly. The man who lives in the present, preparing for the future, always enjoys a better future than the man who doesn't visualize it, but who goes right into it unprepared. Seeing the future and preparing for it is a worthy object. I want to say this because this applies to our race. Our race as to look beyond the present by calling upon the past experiences. How do you know the past experiences? Through books about our past experiences. That's what I write. I write books about our past experiences so that we can look at the future, so that we have to analyze. I analyze, arrange it to suit our needs, so that when things come upon us, we are ready. If we had a nation, will we be ready to make it excellent? If you have this opportunity today to do greatly for your people, are you ready to do greatly, or are you waiting for the time to come to say, you know what, I should sit down and study how nations are built? No, do not sit down and wait for your opportunity, because when the situation happens, there will be a survey. They will go around and they will ask, well, who among us can be the ruler here? Who among us can lead us to prosperity and good fortune? And when you come forward and you say, well, I can read, I heard of a book that I could have read. No, they're going to say, oh, it's okay. We'll go to this other man. We'll go to this other woman. And you're lucked out because you chose not to prepare. It's better to have and not need than to need and not have. Do not be in the situation where you do not know what to do. And with that, I want to transfer. With that, I want to say, look, here's what you have. Get the book.
Okay, so I know books. Alright, so let me tell you about a book. Alright, check it. So the goal and objective is to be selective, elected for knowledge with the black directive, checking sources, heritage, and legacies, with the brilliance to defeat our nemesis. The book of power, so aptly named, esteem and fame, forming the brain, and doing the same as the ancestors before us. Sankofa, that's the life chorus. Wisdom is the key against danger, and it hints the leaders will lead the changes. We are doing Africa with no strangers.
Yo, do you hear us?
Okay,
hold on.
We can't continue to read the second fiddle.
African power is the end of this riddle.
Let's build a nation, the likes we've never existed. The motto heretofore, we persisted. Better, we resisted. Best,
we building.
Raise the roof and break through the ceiling. Peeling away the chains we were given to stop just surviving,
start thriving and living.
Africa's about to host
superpowers.
China and US back up with
time's ours.
No one can be free without freeing themselves. For freedom to show and hold on bookshelves. The book of power, a key for liberation. There's no domination where there's education, because ignorance is man's main weakness. All are exploited if we don't teach this. Within the pages of sages, kings and queens, Akapong, Delaney, Dessalines, Niede, Garvey, Zinga, and Kush. 500 pages to pack the most books. The task is told to bring up a continent. You will hold the tone for the competent. Have some pride and push forward your chest. You'll read it. I read it. One of the best.
Yeah, your book in science covers violence, self-reliance, and does away with silence. The time has come for the work to get done and build up a land that we second to none.
We'll organize, technologize,
strategize a new Africa before our eyes.
Blackness will be the complexion we see.
Anytime we envision what it means to be free, right?
So come join minds, read what is written. Here be solutions.
No longer hidden. Nothing works in theory. All that works and works.
So it's time to put ourselves first.
Hey.
Change the leaders and lead the changes. Tell your friends, family, and neighbors. Change the leaders and lead the changes. Tell your friends, family, and neighbors. Change the leaders and lead the changes. Tell your friends, family, and neighbors. Change the leaders and lead the changes. Book of Power.
Come on.
So the Book of Power.
I already know.
Purchase on Amazon.
Don't play.
Just click on the link.
Don't play.
Below.
Come on.
Alright, send me out.
Let's go. Tulele ma'a, tushile is fat. Tulele ma'a, tushile is fat. Tulele ma'a, tushile is fat. Hotep.
Hotep.
Alright. Okay. Always try to look into the future. Wait, hold on a second. Let's see if I skipped anything. The man who lives in the present preparing for the future always enjoys a better future than the man who doesn't visualize it, but who goes right into it unprepared. Seeing the future and preparing for it is a worthy object. Always try to look into the future. You make slight mistakes here and there, but if you gauge it properly with the experience of the past and the conditions of the present, you may strike an even or accurate estimate of what it ought to be, so that when it comes, you will be able to welcome it with some kind of satisfaction. To live for something doesn't only mean something for yourself, but something for your kith and kin and something for your race. If a father lives for something, he ought to be able to see his children through that something, so that what he does not accomplish for himself might be accomplished for his children. For instance, an industrious father lives with the hope of improving his social and economic condition. He would like to live in a beautiful mansion on the hill from which he can see the country places around the valleys, dales, and the lofty mountains, but he is working in the valley, living in a small cottage. He is growing older without his dreams realized, but he looks to his son and says, "If I cannot enjoy this desire of mine because I may be too old, when the time comes, I shall make it possible for my son or grandson to live on that hilltop." That is living in the future. That is living for something. When the old man dies, the son inherits, and when the son dies, the grandson inherits. Inherits what? That which the grandfather lived for. Okay? So it's not just about you. It's about your race. You build a nation. Suppose, and here's the thing that you have to understand. Like I said, you go to Grenada. You see Maurice Bishop. He brought prosperity to the people in years, in a short amount of years, like 2-3 years. Okay? Nyerere, he also transformed Tanzania quickly. Okay? So it's not a matter of, oh, we're going to have to wait a long time. No. It can be done quickly. The rules of commerce, the rules of wealth, I put it out in the Book of Power. Okay? So you can actually live that lofty life, but you have to get up and do the work. You have to do the reading, you have to do the connections, you have to do the work, and then you can get the lofty. But even in the supposed world where you don't, your child and your grandchild do. Come on. As opposed to now, where they're slowly disintegrating, they're slowly leaving, they're slowly losing. Forget that. Okay? What do you give to the youth to inherit? A nation par excellence. Let's talk about it. This should be the policy of every Negro, to live for something to hand down to a son or a grandson, so that they may have, and obviously daughter and granddaughter. Don't worry. So that they may have life a little easier than their fathers before them. This is the way successful and great families have come into the world, and great races too. No Negro should be objectless or purposeless in life. Always have a purpose. To waste time in non-essentials is to be purposeless. Playing bone dice is purposeless. There is nothing achieved in the time wasted in doing it. No great fortune is guaranteed. No great art is accomplished. No structure is built because it is a game of chance. Playing pool is waste because, like playing the dice, it is a game of chance. Sitting around and going from place to place without an occupation is waste. Valuable time is going and nothing is being registered by way of achievement. When one settles down upon a given and worthy idea or occupation, such as an engineer, architect, builder, farmer, poet, or a teacher, he or she is working on something that may become tangible in results. It is from such tangible assets that we build fortunes. Find something tangible to do and use your time in doing it well. It is better that you be dead than having no purpose in life. Ella Wheeler Wilcox says, "Have a purpose, and that purpose keep in view. For drifting like a helmless vessel, thou canst never to self be true. To ships without a helm must founder on the rock. Why be such a ship? Why not sail through life like the bark whose helm is perfect? Be a captain with chart in hand, seeing his port as he sails steadily on. So your port, see your port, visualize it, and as the time comes, anchor in it." The dignity and pride of race. Amon made man as a complete and finished being. There are no flaws in him but his sin. Again, this is Christian propaganda. It's sin, forget sin. The race of man, therefore, must be perfect in its physical origin. Hence, there is nothing to be ashamed of as far as the species is concerned. The black man's origin is as true as the sun. He need not, therefore, apologize for his existence. His place in the world is fixed as a star, and as such it is incumbent upon him to maintain the dignity and pride of his own manhood. There is nothing unusual about the Negro, other than he is himself as man. He is beautiful in himself, and why not so? The Anglo-Saxon sees beauty through himself, the Teuton sees beauty through himself, the Mongrel sees beauty through himself, and so naturally and logically the Negro ought to see beauty through himself. When the Negro attempts to see beauty through the aquiline features of an Anglo-Saxon, then he images the homeliness and ugliness of his own features, because his features are different from those of the Anglo-Saxon. And again, that's really true. You know, one of the things that you have to look at your physical features as beauty. That's something that I like. Unfortunately, you have to unlearn looking at aquiline features as beautiful. Unfortunately, in the West, you have to unlearn it. Like when I was younger, we were bombarded with this image of, oh, this white woman is beautiful, and I'm not gonna say that I bought into it. I'm not gonna say that everybody buys into it, but it is definitely something that circulates among men and women, and what it does is it erodes at that self-love that you would otherwise have. If you look at a like for me now, if I look at a black woman, it's like, you know, like, ugh, there's nothing quite like it. Nothing quite like it. And that's how you have to look at things. Beauty must be reflected out of your own eyes. A Negro must be beautiful to a Negro, as an Anglo-Saxon is to an Anglo-Saxon. The highest standard of beauty, therefore, for a Negro is the Negro. Never allow any race to say that your race is not beautiful. If there's ugliness in a race, it is in the other race, not in yours, because the other race looks different to you. To the Anglo-Saxon, the Mongol is ugly. To the Mongol, the Anglo-Saxon is ugly. Compare the Anglo-Saxon and the Negro, it is the Anglo-Saxon is ugly, not the Negro. The long, sharp nose of the European cannot be considered beautiful against the strong, healthy, air-free nasal passage of the black man, who is free from those nasal defects that make health difficult. The thin lips of the European could not be beautiful compared with the strong, healthy, and developed lips of the African. These are the ways self-respecting people see themselves. The round, healthy face of the African is much more beautiful than the straight and thick-looking face of the Europeans. Then why surrender all that is good in you and discount it for that which doesn't reach a standard comparable to yours and others? Always think yourself a perfect being and be satisfied with yourself, unless you are a jellyfish. Never allow anyone to convince you of your inferiority as a man. Rise in your dignity to justify all that is noble in your manhood as a race. May race is mine. This is a typo. I think it should be my race is mine and I belong to it. It climbs with me, and I shall climb with it. My pride is mine, and I shall surely honor it. It is the height on which I daily sit. The social confusion. Man at his best in his society is always quarreling. He is never satisfied. Don't believe that you will find in your lifetime the solution for all his problems and ills. Although, like I said, you can. You get the Book of Power, right? Or that's gonna be most of the ills, right? Or you'll have new problems. You'll have new problems. You won't have the same old problems. And the new problems is that of running a nation, and those are problems you want to have, okay? Instead of being run in a nation. But keep going. Attend only to those that concern you and your group. If you can solve your own group's problems in your community, you have done well. See that? If you can solve your own group's problems, read the books. Come on. You've done well. Let others solve theirs. They can solve their own. The time you waste running around with others and helping them in their problems, you are robbing your group of that much time to help them solve their problems. Whether a man is sober or drunk, he is a disagreeable beast. You will find it so in every community. So search for your man and tame the beast. He is never of the same mood all the time. At one time, you think you can like him. At another time, you think you could kill him. Tame him towards the end of your own social satisfaction. For dabbling in the confusion of others will only make you more confused, and your divided energy will only tend to defeat the special purpose which you should have in solving the problems of your race. This is something, look, I want my brother, I got a brother, I want him to listen to this. At one time, like stop dabbling in the confusion of others. You will only become more confused, and your divided energy will take you away from your special purpose. Just block the fools. You know, a lot of black people, I don't like black women. I don't like black women. A lot of black women, I don't like black men. Black men is bad. Like, just block them. Don't dabble into their confusion. Don't try to, because you have a purpose. Your purpose is not to break up a gender conflict that's been going on for 100 years. It's not to do that. You understand? Your purpose is to build a nation par excellence, to have an African superpower led by the morals and standards of an African people. If this little gender squabble is not toward that purpose, then get it out of here, man. Get it out. Come on. Never forget that all other groups in the society of your community are looking after their own individual group interests, and your interest, except from the community point of view, is never theirs. Therefore, their interest should never be yours as far as the particular group interests are concerned. Don't be disappointed if other people shock you by their behavior, because man is made that way. He acts that way chiefly because he is racially different. The white man may compliment you today and abuse you tomorrow, simply because of your race. Don't trust the whole community then, if it is made up of different groups, because it is apt to disappoint you by being selfish at any moment as far as the division of particular interest is concerned. Always pick out your interest in the community and conserve it because others are doing the same. It is only when you tread on the heels of others by accident that you will find out that there are differences between you and others. Your mistake doesn't prove a fact. The fact was there before your mistake. It is always a fact that each group has its own individual and collective racial problems. Okay? Your problem is you don't have a nation. Okay? The white man has a problem of governing his nation, controlling his nation. You have a problem of not having a nation. Get yourself a nation. The way you get a nation, again, you read the book, you work together, and we have freedom. You will not have freedom otherwise. And how do I know this? Because I picked up books myself. The white man can never be a Negro, and the Negro can never be a white man, except after eternity, and you do not live that long. You may be the same in soul, and I don't think so, but you cannot see a soul. So the similarity is beyond you. What you see is yourself physically, and there is no doubt that there are physical differences between you and the other man. So watch your step in the social confusion of life. Always remember that another person is not you, for that other person knows too well that you are different from him. He is always on guard to divide the line of interest. This applies everywhere, all around, in your home, office, workshop, in the street, and in the community. Your wife will grab the article and say, "This is mine," and refuse to give it up, although you thought you were one, and what was yours was hers, and hers yours. You understand? You understand that? Even your wife will say, "Hey," or your husband, whatever. They will say, your partner will say, hey, whoa, that's my stuff. What are you doing? And you're like, wait, I thought we were in this together. No, not that together. You feel me? She always has a time to claim her own, either in peace or in confusion. So always have your own in the social confusion of life, because even you and your partner may have to run in different directions to save your skins. If a person is gone with what is yours in another direction, you may lose your life following what you should have been carrying with you. Never forget this. It is of great importance to you for your own safety. You should always have your own fare to pair the conductor. You may have to walk while the other person rides, because you can never tell where confusion will spring up. It may be in the street near the neighborhood. It may be 100 miles from town, and it'll be a long walk if the car moves off because of the confusion between you and the driver. Always expect confusion in the dividing line in the social contact of life. One time, a long time ago, I want to tell you this story. Father handed me $50. Said, here's $50. All right? Keep it always. Keep it. Always have emergency money. Always have emergency money, because there's going to be confusion. You know, now I don't always have $50 on me, but I always have cash, more or less. You know, I never had to use it. But if I do, or maybe I did have to use that. Who knows? I mean, I don't have the $50 on me no more, but maybe it came up and I bought something. But the reality is that you don't want to walk for miles because you don't got nothing. You don't want to be, oh, can I get a taxi ride? Look, I'm good for it. You can take me to my house and I have the money in my house. You don't want to do that. And I mean, obviously we have ATM machines here. You can probably go to an ATM machine pretty quickly. But all the same, like if things go sour, things go south, have something. You know, like for instance, sometimes I bump into people and I say, hey, you want to buy my book? Oh, I don't have any cash. Now, of course, they're lying, as you may know. Well, a lot of people are lying because, you know, I tell you, I bumped into a drug dealer one time. Bro had $1,000 on it, singles, 20s, 30, you know, like people have cash. They have cash. They just didn't have cash for books. But anyway, if you're different, you know where to find my book. You heard the song, but otherwise, thank you for listening. You know, come join the Discord, say hello, and you know, you can get this book for free as well. You can get the preview, and you can also get the Carlos A. Cook's book. You can get a whole bunch of stuff. So thank you for listening. I enjoyed this time I spent with you. I hope you enjoyed the same. And I'll see you in the next lesson.